In short, explain what a gynocracy is to me.
A gynocracy, by definition, is ruled by women. Is ruled by women, and I have a lot of pushback not only from black women but also black men that that black women have and have always been in charge of the black community. It is what it is. A lot of my conscious brothers don't like it. They don't want me speaking about it. A lot of my uh, so-called patriarchal brothers don't like me saying it and speaking about it. Women don't like me saying it, even though they know it's true. Black women are in charge of the black community. Germans call it a gynocracy, or the Greeks used to call it gynocracy, which is a gynocracy, which is ruled by women. Whereas a matriarchy is built on a completely different set of rules than a patriarchy is. A gynocracy is built on the same rules as a patriarchy. The only difference is you put women in the place of the patriarch or the men. Instead of ruled by men, you get ruled by women. Black men were assigned to manual labors and earning money for the family, but educating, reading, writing, doing arithmetic, budgeting, accounting, all those things that white men normally do for the family, that was assigned to who? It was assigned to black women. Even when it came to building and doing the crafts and trades, it was never done with words. It was always done with drawings, because teaching a black man to read or count or doing something advanced was dangerous. You put that in the hands of black women. Your family most likely had your mama, big mama, tanty, ma tante, etc. at the helm. And the family thrives when they listen to their women. You've always heard that statement, listen to black women. A man can never lead my home. He can only support me as I strategize. A man's role in my home is to support and execute the plans I have thought out. A man cannot be the sole decision maker. You will not lead me to destruction simply because you have a penis and a body that is physically brawnier than mine. I come with intuition, foresight, and the ability to create worlds from my mind. You come with the ability to lift heavy things, earn more money than I can, simply because you are a man and you have the stamina to physically work harder than me. I am the architect. You are the labor. Argue with your mother. It has taken 60 years for black women to actually admit that the black community is a gynocracy, ruled by women, ruled by your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, and your grandma. We come from nothing but covens of women that buck at male authority. Why? Because they believe that you are not fit to rule, that you are not fit to run your house or run your relationship. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have, how big you are, how good your dick is, how organized you are. They believe that if you are with them, that they're better than you. And if they can't prove it, they will leave you and they will find a man that they're better than. Monahan said it 55 years ago, that the black community was out of order, out of step with the rest of America. There's a record of the first black millionaire. First black millionaire was a woman, and she didn't get her money by doing a trade or having a business. She got her money from entertaining white men. She was a mistress for many different white wealthy men that paid her handsomely. And when the scandal came out and white women found out about it, they tried to take her money. And this was back in the 19th century. So it shows that black women as a sex partner for white men has always been allowed. There is and there has been a gynocracy within the black community for a very, very long time, which explains why all the derision and hurt when the black man wants to have a voice, which is why black women always squawk about black men not building, because your slaves, your labor classes is supposed to build for you, or going out and fighting the white man because your peasants or your underlings are supposed to go out and fight for you. Why? Because black men don't have any rights that black women are bound to respect. If you look at the current movement, Black Lives Matter,
that supposedly fight for black men. In their mission statement, there is no black men even mentioned. They use black men and black male deaths as fodder to what? Project out their campaign, project out their talking points, push them into leadership. Now, when a white man guns down one of their underlings, one of their labor class, of course, just like a good master, they go out and they try to protect their slaves. But don't let those slaves say they have rights and they have freedoms to choose or freedoms to decide something. All of a sudden, those same people rise up and get upset. Every other race of women say they support their men, not protect, but support their men. What do black women say? Especially these young black women. We were taught to protect the men that hate us. That's what they say. What does that sound like? That sounds like a slave master. I'm protecting the people that hate me. Why do they hate me? Because I am their master. I always thought that there was a deep hatred between black women and black men for whatever reason, but I'm starting to understand that it's not a hatred. It's not hatred at all. Black women have always thought that black men were beneath them. All my life, I don't think I've ever heard a black woman give their husbands or significant others respect, only pity.
It sounds well. It sounds like the gynocracy is like is similar to matriarchy.
Matriarchy. Okay, this is the way it runs in matriarchy, right? Um, they have roles for men and women. Okay, black women are in control of the family. What goes on in the family outside the house? They put black men in power, and they're expected to make rules for the society inside the house, as far as mating and all that kind of stuff. Black women control that. So, in other words, in a matriarchy, if I want to get married to, say, like Bayou Bunny, I gotta go see Mama first. Okay, and Mama don't approve, we don't get married. As far as the
Okay.
finances, I got to go to Daddy because he controls that. But a gynocracy is ruled by women. In other words, women make all the decisions, or most of the decisions, the majority of decisions, which is different. A matriarchy is not a gynocracy, and the only reason that you have a gynocracy inside the United States is because it's enforced by a patriarchy, which is white men, because white men want to keep black men subdued, so they enforce that. They enforce the subjugation of black men, and that gives black women power. Shirley Chisholm ran for president, in the '60s, well before a black man ever did. So the black women do control this community, even though um, they don't want to take blame for it. In other words, the buck stops with me. I got control of the community. I need to do this, that, and the other. They want black men to do something. Want black men to do something without the power. The black women really don't want to give up the power that they've acquired over a couple hundred years. I can't blame them. But the thing is, we need to sit down and have a talk. What kind of community do you want to have? Do you want black men to run the community? Then you're going to have to give up the power. If you want to keep the power that you already have, that you acquired over 200 years, then you have to be responsible for the community. We can't have this, it's all the black man's fault, but he doesn't run anything. Because black men don't run anything in this community. They really don't. I know this. I know this from the bottom up. Black men don't run nothing. You really cannot do anything in this community, in the black community, without the acquiescence of black women. You really can't. Man, black man can't make a black woman do nothing. I mean, do me nothing. Even with his own kids, can't make a black woman do nothing. And black women know that. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me.
Because we're in a fucking gynocracy, god damn it!